Welcome to Worship That Inspires. Today we're going to be talking about the area of contribute, so looking at the self-assessment and discussing the results of that. Contribute is so important because it's through contribute that we get ownership, that Loving Life Ministries becomes my ministry. It's where I belong. It's as you invest, as you know, that's when you feel like this is my church and I'm excited about it, and that's when you can start to think about inviting your friends because you truly are excited. So, as a pastor, overseeing the area of contribute and making sure people have opportunities to do so is one of the most important things you can do. As we go through the self-assessment, I'm not going to go through it in numerical order like last time, but I'm going to highlight some of the areas that we're doing well on, and then looking at areas where we're perhaps weaker and discussing what we could do. So just to celebrate, visitors are invited to an after party that got an average score of 3.07, which means, we're not doing as well as we could, but we are doing quite well. And it means that we have the emphasis of inviting people for coffee, to chat. Now, a lot of areas don't have a formal after party, but they are providing a time and a space to share together. That's the most important thing. We invite regular visitors who are ready to a membership class. Very important, because guess what? You can't become a member if you're not invited. No one explains it to you. So please, again, access the membership materials on the Unification Church website. Members are exhorted to tithe. This was our highest score, 4.07. Of course, Pastor Jaga makes that request every week and teaches. But, a number of areas said that they'd increase tithing. This is huge because we haven't had a strong culture of tithing in the past because we were asked for many different kinds of donations. But now we're emphasizing for the spiritual health of our membership, it's an important active giving, active returning what we have and our blessings back to God. We invite members to begin personal ministries. I was really excited to see that had an average score of 3.5. It means that in all, like cities across America, people have personal ministries. Maybe it's an affinity group, maybe it's a growth group, but people are reaching out to their friends in this way. So think about how to support and encourage those that are doing that, because this is an avenue for people to connect and to grow in the context of the community that we're providing through Loving Life Ministries. Now, we support members' personal ministries through publicity, 3.79. Hey, we're advertising it. That's great. Also, we involve youth in all aspects of the worship experience. Excuse me, 3.79. It means that by and large we're doing that. But again, we want to be making sure that our young people are involved in every aspect so they feel that they belong. It's theirs. And when young people come into the sanctuary, when they come to Sunday service, they see themselves reflected in the leadership of Loving Life. Very important. Excuse me. Now I want to return a little bit to areas where we're not doing as well and discuss that. The volunteer coordinator is available at Sunday worship, 1.79. Now that may be because you don't have a volunteer coordinator. Maybe you're so small that that's not necessary. But the function of the volunteer coordinator is needed, if only informally and through the pastor themselves, because people want to give, but they don't always know how to give. They don't even know there's an opportunity to give. So think about that function, whether you absorb it as the pastor or it's a separate function that someone else does. Think about who could do that and how you could make volunteer opportunities available. Because people who just come and receive, they don't stay long because it's a very passive experience. But when they're contributing, it's no longer passive, it's mine, I'm excited, I'm invested. So think about that role and who might do that. We also said we hand out an invitation to volunteer card, 1.57 average score. So, I think I'm going to ask our media team to create a volunteer card that you can get, because this is so important. People want to give, but they don't know how to give. And so if we haven't handed out a card asking them what they'd like to give or asking them about what they could offer, then 10 to 1, they're not going to be able to make that connection. And we're all about connecting people at Loving Life. We invite members and visitors to join a circle, 2.71. Again, without the invitation, without extending that invitation, who's going to come? So that's kind of our responsibility. Members are actively volunteering to create the worship experience, an average score of 2.64, which is in the realm of average. So we want to think about how we can involve members in the production of Loving Life, even if it's a very small and informal setting, still you can have ushers and greeters, you can have people who make phone calls afterwards, thanking people for coming, or if they didn't come, saying they were missed. There are a myriad of ways that people can contribute, and I think the more that we can make those ways known to people, offer them to people, that people can respond, we'll have much more energy at Sunday service. So thank you for all you're doing to support Contribute in your ministries. And please turn back. Now we've kind of gone through this again, you might want to turn back to your self-assessment and have another discussion about what you could do better. Thank you.